How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? How you getting it in? Body getting it funny. What's going on, people?
Okay, in case you don't know this, Janet Mock called for intersection resistance at Women's March. Now, this took place on January the 21st, 2017. Despite the empowering messages of the Women's March, worry persists about keeping unified amongst the resistance to Trump's administration. Transgender activist Janet Mock spoke frankly about the divisions among progressives during the Women's March in Washington, D.C. I stand here today because I am my sister's keeper, she said. Our approach to freedom need not be identical, but it must be intersectional and exclusive. It must extend beyond ourselves. Mock praised queer rights leaders such as Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, who were at the center of Stonewall Inn riots and called for an increased availability for disabled people and sex workers. Collective liberations and solidarity is difficult, she said. It is work that will find us struggling with each other and struggling against each other. Now, I'm going to show you the video of Reverend her giving this speech, okay? Check this out.
We are here not merely to gather, but to move, right? And our movements require us to do more than just show up and say the right words. It requires us to break out of our comfort zones and be confrontational. It requires us to defend one another when it is difficult and dangerous. It requires us to truly see ourselves and one another. I stand here today as the daughter of a Native Hawaiian woman and a Black veteran from Texas. I stand here as the first person in my family to go to college. I stand here as someone who has written herself onto this stage to unapologetically proclaim that I am a trans woman, writer, activist, revolutionary of color. And I stand here today because of the work of my forebears, from Sojourner to Sylvia, from Ella to Audrey, from Harriet to Marsha. I stand here today, most of all, because I am my sister's keeper. My sisters and siblings are being beaten and brutalized, neglected and invisibilized, extinguished and exiled. My sisters and siblings have been pushed out of hostile homes and intolerant schools. My sisters and siblings have been forced into detention facilities and prisons and deeper into poverty. And I hold these harsh truths close. They enrage me and fuel me, but I cannot survive on righteous anger alone. Today, by being here, it is my commitment to getting us free that keeps me marching. Our approach to freedom need not be identical, but it must be intersectional and inclusive. It must extend beyond ourselves. I know with surpassing certainty that my liberation is directly linked to the liberation of the undocumented trans Latina yearning for refuge, the disabled student seeking unequivocal access, the sex worker fighting to make her living safely. Collective liberation and solidarity is difficult work. It is work that will find us struggling together and struggling with one another. Just because we are oppressed does not mean that we do not ourselves fall victim to enacting the same unconscious policing, shaming, and erasing. We must return to one another with greater accountability and commitment to the work today. By being here, You are making a commitment to this work. Together, we are creating a resounding statement, a statement that stakes a claim on our lives and our loves, our bodies and our babies, our identities and our ideals. But a movement is so much more than a march. A movement is that difficult space between our reality and our vision. Our liberation depends on all of us returning to our homes and using this experience and all the experiences that have shaped us to act, to organize, to resist. Thank you.
A little bit more information on Janet Mock. Now, she was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. She was born March the 10th in 1983, which makes her 33 years old. And she's up underneath the sign of Pisces. Janet Mock also is a TV host on So Popular with Janet Mock on Friday at 11 a.m. ET shift MSNBC. So Popular. And basically, she talks about she created her show to examine the cultural experience that occupy our brains and time, giving her a guess that the space, deep culture using political, feminist, and social injustice views. She also worked on the New York Times. She was the author on the New York Times bestseller list as far as she wrote a book called Redefine Realness, and contributed editing for Marie Claire and the former staff of People magazine. She also went on OWN, Oprah Winfrey's network. She talked to Oprah outside about her book. And also, she's the only, as far as I know, black trans woman who's actually married, that's living the dream. Which Janet Mock married Aaron Treadwell in Hawaii on North Shore. So she's living a dream. She's showing the girls that it's possible and stuff. And I just want to give you an idea of who she was, who this beautiful woman was, or should I say is, and a little identification, a reference to her as far as, if you didn't know about her, as of today, you do, as officially 2:42 a.m. in the morning, in fact. But I want to share this with you and stuff. And love you, sis. Keep pushing through, Miss Janet. And God bless you on the dream that many girls love to achieve. And you're living it. And you're a perfect example that good things do come.